And is Jasmine.
Thanks, Bonnie. Thanks for bringing us together, and it's nice to be with you all. So in my field, I think a lot about performance, and I define performance as embodied actions that are witnessed or watched, that are framed in time and space. And I think a lot about how what happens like on TV or on the stage, like what happens in the arts affects my everyday performances. So like how people see Black women on TV and then they put assumptions on my body because of that. And so in this conversation, I'm really thinking a lot about how when we think about spectacle, we can think about like the meanings put on our bodies when we walk the street. Even I went to a museum a few weeks ago and I was like followed, and like the security guard told me to leave like an hour early, right? Even with my mask on. So like the meanings that are put in our bodies as spectacle, but also how we make our own meanings, and that's like the intimacy in it, and how those things might bump up against each other for change. So I'm going to share with you, I'm showing with you an exercise that I stole from two dance scholars, Meghan Quinlan and Natalie Zervou. And it's an exercise that I've done on Zoom, but I've also done in person to think about the spectacle, but also the intimacy of bodies and protest, and how we might think about protest as a performance to enact change. And so I'm going to invite all of you all to do these motions with me. So we can't see you except for the amazing panelists, and I'm inviting our amazing panelists to do them together. And I guess with each motion, what we're going to do, I just want to ask, I want you to think about what meanings might other people put on your body. So think about like your body as spectacle, but also think about that intimacy, like what meanings is your body creating? So we'll just do a series of motions, whatever you're comfortable, whatever's available to you. And if it's not available to you, you also can just witness watch, which is also great. Okay, so first motion, I'm going to ask everyone to lean forward. So just like, and again, just think about what meaning might other people put on your body? What meaning is your body making? Next, we're going to pretend as if we're together. This is where it gets awkward, but I love leaning into it. So if it's available to you, I'm going to ask you to stand up, and I want you to act like we're holding hands. So this like this awkward, I'm going to hold hands with everyone here in this awkward holding hand thing, and think about meanings put in your bodies, meaning your body's making. And then you're going to act like you're holding hands like this. So like that. And then you're going to act like you're holding hands like, or crossing arms like this. So again, thinking about what meanings might other people put on your body, what meanings are your bodies making. Okay, and now we're going to lay on the ground, and I'm going to let out like a really obnoxious ha as I lay on the ground. But as you lay on the ground, think about what meaning is your body making, what meaning are other people put on your body if you were laying on the ground, or if they saw you laying like this. And then just 3 more movements. I'm going to ask you to kneel. So this is like the awkward, you see like our awkward head. So you're going to kneel on one knee and ask yourself what meanings are put on your body right now. What meaning is your body making by kneeling? And then 2 more motions. If it's available to you, stand up again, and you'll put your arms up like this and think about what meaning is your body making? What meaning might other people put on your bodies? And then like this. And so that's an exercise, and then you can sit down. Thank you all. Also, thank you, Bonnie, Haley, and Matt. And then Kayla, do you mind sharing the slideshow real quick? So this is an exercise I've done with students. Again, I stole it from these 2 dance scholars who are really amazing, and who are cited there, and I can send out that link. And you can just go through them like every 5 seconds, the images, or you can go through them really quickly, like every 2 seconds, the images. And so this is like the lunch counter sit-in. And you can think about holding hands during civil rights. Think about like what meanings are put on their bodies. What meanings are their bodies making? Like think about that performance, their own spectacle, but also intimacy in this. Colin Kaepernick, which I think can think endlessly about. And then the last few images here are 1968 Olympics, again, like spectacle and intimacy. There's a really great book by Kevin Quashie that I'll link out about that. And then these last 3 images are from Vegas. So just thinking about like what meanings are being put on these protesters' bodies, but also what meanings are their bodies making. Yeah, so that's all I got.